We'll start now with a presentation by Ms. Abeer Al Alawi, Executive Director of Bahrain Institute for Pearls and Gemstones, DANAT. She'll talk to us about seed pearl challenges.
Good morning, all of you. Today I'll be presenting the challenges that we face in the testing of seed pearls, whether it's in DANAT or previously in the old Bahrain lab. I'm not sure if all of you are aware, but Bahrain by law is the only country in the world where cultured pearls are banned. So no trading and no exhibiting of cultured pearl is allowed in the Bahraini market. This is as per the Legislative Decree number 10 of 1990 with respect to control over pearls and gemstones of value. So before discussing the seed pearl challenges, I'd just like to quickly go through the definition of seed. As per the Sibjo Pearl Blue Book, what is a seed pearl? A seed pearl is a small salt or freshwater natural pearl which is generally less than 2 nm but not more than 3 mm in diameter. Keshi is the old Japanese trade name for a small saltwater natural or non-bead cultured pearl, which is normally irregular or baroque in shape. Keshi cultured pearl, these are the pearls that are produced, the byproducts, during the cultivation process in the different types of mollusk. Okay, so seed pearls in the Bahrain market. How did this all start? In the 1990s, quantities of seed pearls were coming in the Bahraini market. If we were to classify this, we have three main sources. They were either coming from the Akoya Keshi, South Sea Keshi pearls, or they're coming from the Chinese freshwater seed pearls, or from the natural seed pearls from Bahrain, and those recycled from India and other countries. However, the majority of the pearls were coming from the Keshi. These were the majority of the pearls. The minority were the natural Bahraini pearls or the natural pearls from the GCC countries. The dealers used to buy the Keshi from the farms, get them sorted in India, have them treated, drilled, and strung. There was around a 30% loss in this process. However, what does the sorting mean? We all know that these pearls are mixed in buckets. So they might have natural structures, they might have non-bead structures. Laboratories in India used to sort these by structure, string them, send them to Bahrain, and they were sold in the Bahraini markets and the GCC countries. What is the importance of seed pearls to Bahrain? Seed pearls must be certified to enter the Bahraini market. If in other world countries they don't need certification, these pearls have to be certified here. Otherwise, they cannot be sold in the market. More than 30 jewelry workshops depend on the use of seed pearls in their jewelry. This jewelry has a very high demand in Bahrain, and it's more like a jewelry design trend. So we cannot just say that we will not be testing these seed pearls in Bahrain no matter what. The testing procedures. Previously, in the old laboratory in Bahrain, these seed pearls were x-rayed and tested, but they were tested randomly. So basically, we'd receive like a bunch of 100 rows or 150 rows, but they were not tested individually. It's just a matter of a very small percentage tested, and the result would be if the percentage exceeded 10% in the bunch and were found to be non-bead, they were failed and returned back to the country of origin or returned back to the client. If the pearls were passed, they were used in the jewelry and distributed in the market. The results that were shown on the certificates were as follows. Samples were found to be natural seed pearls, and the comment was less than 10% identified as non-bead cultured pearls. If the samples were failing, they were classified as mixture, and that is like more than 10% were identified as non-bead cultured pearls. However, all this was not an accurate procedure. In 1997, random samples were taken from a bunch from different ends and were certified as natural seed pearls. The client restrung those pearls in a very big mishlah. He brought them into the laboratory, and then they were tested again and classified as 70% non-bead cultured pearls. So basically, in the random sampling that was performed in the laboratory, it was like a lucky event that only the naturals were on one side and the non-beads were on the other side, and they were not even tested or x-rayed. As a result, the testing protocol was changed ever since, and the percentage was reduced to 5%. However, the laboratory was forced to test each and every single seed pearl. So there was no random testing performed anymore on the seed pearls. We had to test each and every single pearl. At that point, the trade started there. We can see the rumors. These pearls are not natural, they are keshi, they are byproducts. How can these be entered in the Bahraini market? So that was a very, very big problem ever since. This is an example of how we used to test the pearls in the old laboratory. It was basically by the X-ray radiography. So you can see how small the pearls are, and with the 10x loop, how the X-rays were looking for whoever was testing them. The majority of the pearls showed no structure, so they were like undecisive. Are these natural? Are these cultured? It was not so easy. And some of the pearls revealed non-bead irregular tissues or cavities. So that was a straightforward case. These pearls are non-bead cultured pearls. This is another example of pure non-bead cultured seed pearls under X-ray radiography. So these were purely refused and returned back to the source. They were not allowed to enter Bahrain. And you can see all the tissue structures in the X-rays. This is an X-ray of natural Gulf seed pearls. And as we can see, the structures are completely different. We can find radials, we find cavities, we find organic matter. It's completely different from those that were shown in the previous slides from the keshis. This is a slide showing a comparison between the natural seed pearls and the non-bead cultured seed pearls. The natural seed pearls are showing beautiful natural structures regardless their size, whether it's 2 mm or 3 mm, they used to show natural structures. The non-bead cultured seed pearls were showing the cavities, and the others that were classified by us as natural were only showing empty structures or just plain lines. Following this problem, in 2010, this was discussed by the Harmonization Committee, and it was decided that pearls generally under 2 or 3 mm in size will just be classified as seed pearls because it was very difficult to test them. So they were neither natural or cultured. However, from the previous slides, we can see that natural pearls are showing structures, and the keshi pearls were not showing any kind of structures. In 2017, DANAT started its operations, and with the high technology equipment available in DANAT, the testing procedures were completely changed. DANAT is currently implementing the same standard as those regulations in the ministry. Seed pearl strands containing less than 5% were classified as pass, and the strands that contain more than 5% were classified as cultured and returned back to customs. However, with the new digital X-ray machines, things were much, much different on the screen. For example, here we have a strand of freshwater pearls. You can see the luminescence. It's like a greenish yellow. And in the X-ray, it's much, much clearer here. So we can see structures, we can see voids, we can see cavities. However, if this was tested without using any fluorescence, it will be very difficult just by X-ray to reveal that these pearls are freshwater cultured. Because some of them are showing no structures, and some of them are showing actually what looks like natural structures. This is another example of saltwater seed pearls that we give as a pass. The X-rays are very clear. You can see natural structures. You can see very faint lines, which was not seen previously in the normal X-rays. This is another example of the way that DANAT is conducting the testing. So basically, we're counting each and every single pearl. Wherever there is a non-bead, we are marking it, we are removing it, and the client is receiving jobs that are free of any kind of non-bead cultured pearls. This is another example of natural saltwater pearls, and you can see all the beautiful radial structures, the organic matter accumulations. So again, if we were to compare them, they're completely different. The natural seed pearls of the Gulf are giving completely different structures than any other country in the world. This is another example where you can see beautiful natural structures in both the X-rays. And finally, we used to think that the testing of seed pearls is a challenge, and it's a big challenge. Yes, it is a big challenge, but not for our Bahraini pearls. It's a big challenge when these pearls are mixed with pearls from other mollusks, because basically they will not be as the same structure depending on the environment, depending on from where the mollusk is. But then again, our traders, the Bahraini market, are trying their best to protect this trade. They want only natural pearls as per the law, whether it is from the Pinctada radiata or any other mollusk. DANAT is currently working its best, and we're all trying as a team, whether it's in the laboratory or the research, not to pass any pearls that are not natural. Thank you.